Welcome back to Beemaster 79. Today we are solving one of the most frustrating problems in English. When do you put the word "the" in front of a name? We say I live in Vietnam, but we also say I live in the Netherlands. We say Mount Everest, but we say the Himalayas. It looks random. It is not random. There are clear patterns, and by the end of this lesson you will know them. One quick note before we start. Everything I described here follows standard British and American English. A small number of names really do vary between regions and style guides, and I will point those out when we reach them. So why does this matter so much? Names appear constantly. Your hometown, your country, your university, the river in the photograph you are describing. And here is the trap. An article mistake almost never blocks understanding. If you say I went to the Japan, everyone still knows what you mean, so nobody corrects you, and the habit sets like concrete. But a listener notices immediately, because this pattern is fixed. Now the good news. These are rules about categories of name, not about individual vocabulary. Learn the category once, and you get every single name inside it right. That is a very good return on your effort. Let us start with the big picture because one question does most of the work. Ask yourself, is this name one single individual thing named directly, or is it a group, a plural, or really a description dressed up as a name? Single individual things usually take no article. Continents, countries, cities, one mountain, one lake, one island, streets, parks, people. Groups and plurals take the mountain ranges, island groups. Water takes the rivers, seas, oceans, canals. And names that are built out of ordinary nouns take the, especially anything shaped the something of something. Hold on to that question. We will now go through each box carefully. Group 1. Names that take no article at all. You simply say the name bare. Continents and most countries: Africa, Asia, Vietnam, Japan, Brazil, Germany. Cities, towns, states and provinces: Hanoi, London, Tokyo, California, Ontario. One single mountain, and notice the word single: Mount Fuji, Mount Everest, Ben Nevis, Kilimanjaro. One single lake or one single island: Lake Como, Lake Victoria, Bali, Sicily, Madagascar. Streets, parks, airports and stations: Oxford Street, Central Park, Heathrow Airport. And finally, languages, people, and companies: English, Vietnamese, Maria, Toyota, Google. In every one of these, putting the in front is a clear mistake. Here are the 4 errors I hear most often, and the correction beside each one. Not, I have lived in the Vietnam for 10 years. Instead, I have lived in Vietnam for 10 years. A single country name takes no article. Not, we climbed the Mount Fuji last spring. Instead, we climbed Mount Fuji last spring. It is one individual mountain. Not, her office is on the Oxford Street. Instead, her office is on Oxford Street. Street names are bare. And not, he is flying into the Heathrow Airport. Instead, he is flying into Heathrow Airport. Airports and stations take the name only. Read the right-hand column once more and say each sentence out loud. Group 2. Water, groups, and plurals. These always take the rivers: the Mekong, the Nile, the Thames, the Amazon, the Danube. Seas and oceans: the Pacific Ocean, the Red Sea, the Mediterranean, the Baltic. Canals, gulfs and straits: the Suez Canal, the Gulf of Mexico, the Strait of Malacca. Deserts: the Sahara, the Gobi, the Atacama. Mountain ranges, and notice they are always plural: the Alps, the Himalayas, the Andes, the Rockies. And island groups, also plural: the Maldives, the Canary Islands, the Bahamas. Look at the contrast at the bottom of the screen because it is the whole lesson in one line. Mount Everest, one single peak, no article. It sits in the Himalayas, a whole range, article. Now countries specifically, because this is where learners lose marks. The overwhelming majority of countries are bare: Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, China, France, Spain, Poland, Egypt, Brazil, Canada, Kenya, Australia, also England, Scotland and Wales. But two families of country name do take the first plural names: the Netherlands, the Philippines, the Maldives. Second, names that actually contain ordinary nouns, words like kingdom, states, republic, emirates. So the United Kingdom, the United States, the Czech Republic, the Dominican Republic, the United Arab Emirates. If the name would work as a description rather than a label, it wants the article. If you remember only one thing from this lesson, remember this shape. Whenever a name is built as a noun plus the word of plus another name, English puts the in front. The Great Wall of China. Wall is an ordinary noun, so the article is required. The University of Tokyo. And look at the note underneath, because we will come back to it. The Gulf of Mexico. The Bay of Bengal, the Isle of Man, the Bank of England, the Tower of London, the Republic of Korea. Once you can see this shape, dozens of names stop being memory work and start being automatic. Institutions follow exactly that pattern, and this is the single most useful slide for academic writing. Both of the first two sentences describe the same university, and both can be correct, but the word order decides the article. Name first, noun second, Oxford University, with no article. Noun, then the name, the University of Oxford, article required. Never mix them. Hospitals and schools behave the same way. St. Mary's Hospital, no article, because a possessive name behaves like a bare name. Greenfield Primary School, no article. And to be clear, Greenfield there is an invented example name, not a real school. Public buildings usually take the hotels and restaurants, the Hilton, the Metropole, the Ritz. Museums and galleries, the British Museum, the Louvre, the National Gallery. Theatres and cinemas, the Globe Theatre, the Odeon, the Opera House. Towers and monuments, the Eiffel Tower, the Shard, the Lincoln Memorial. But watch the last line. Buildings named after a person or a saint stay there. Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, St. Paul's Cathedral. And I promised to be honest with you about the messy corners. Bridges genuinely split. The Golden Gate Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge take the article. Tower Bridge and London Bridge do not. Those you simply learn one at a time. Media and organizations. Newspapers take the Times, the Guardian, the New York Times, the Economist. But most magazines are bare. Vogue, Time, National Geographic. Now here is a lovely little rule for acronyms. If you spell the letters out one by one, you use the BBC, the UN, the EU, the WHO. But if you pronounce the acronym as a single word, you drop the article. NATO, UNESCO, OPEC. Companies and airlines are bare. Toyota, Samsung, Vietnam Airlines, British Airways. And ships and famous trains take the Titanic, the Orient Express. People. A personal name never takes an article, so we say my teacher at our school, not the my teachers at our school. But a whole family is plural, and plurals take the we had dinner with the Nguyens. Now compare a job title with a name. President is a common noun, so we say she met the president yesterday with the article. But when you attach a title to a surname, the whole thing works as a single bare name. Dr. Tran will see you now. Not the Dr. Tran. My, Tran and Nguyen here are invented example names, used only to illustrate the pattern. Your turn. 6 sentences. Fill each gap with the word the, or leave it empty if no article is needed. Read them now. Number 1. My cousin has lived in blank Philippines since 2019. Number 2. We walked all the way along blank Oxford Street. Number 3. Have you ever visited blank Great Wall of China? Number 4. Blank Lake Como is in the north of blank Italy. Number 5. She has worked for blank BBC for nearly 12 years. Number 6. Last summer they climbed blank Mount Kilimanjaro in blank Tanzania. Pause the video now and write all of your answers down before you look at the next slide. Let us check them. Number 1. The Philippines. It is a plural country name, so it takes the article. Number 2. Oxford Street, with no article, because street names are bare. Number 3. The Great Wall of China. That is our master pattern, noun plus of plus name. Number 4. Lake Como and Italy, with no article in either gap. One single lake and a bare country name. Number 5. The BBC, because we spell the letters out one by one. And number 6. Mount Kilimanjaro and Tanzania, again with no article in either gap. One single mountain, one bare country. How many did you get? Here is the whole lesson on one screen. On the left, no article. Continents and most countries. Cities, states and provinces. One mountain, one lake, one island. Streets, parks, airports and stations. Oxford University and St. Mary's Hospital. People, companies and languages. And acronyms you pronounce as a word. On the right takes the rivers, seas, oceans, canals and deserts. Ranges and island groups, which are plural. Plural countries like the Netherlands. Countries built from nouns, like the United Kingdom. The whole noun of name pattern. Hotels, museums, theatres and towers. Newspapers and acronyms you spell out letter by letter. Take a screenshot of this slide and test yourself with it tomorrow. So, one question every time. Before you say any name, ask yourself, is this single and individual? Then say it bare. Or is it plural, or watery, or built from a noun plus of plus a name? Then say the. This week, take 5 names from your own country, your river, your mountain, your university, your favorite newspaper, and say each one out loud with the correct article. That is how it moves from knowledge into habit. If this helps, subscribe to BMaster79 for more grammar and IELTS lessons. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.